I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning Monday the 8th of January through to Sunday the 14th, 2018. It's going to take me a while to get used to saying that. Every time I go to write an oracle card on my social media, I have to go back and double check that I've put the right year. I'm a slow adapter. Okay, I'm going to swap it around. That card deck did not want to go through. So Monday, starting with Monday the 8th. Probably a day many of you are going back to work after the holidays. Oh, beautiful home. We don't get this card very often. So I guess Cancer energy, we had a Cancer supermoon last week. Some of the effects might still be being felt. It's very much to do with home, the sign Cancer. So this card comes through for people who are not in a healthy or happy household situation. Perhaps there's tension or conflict. Perhaps there's disarray, perhaps I've got house guests or people are staying who aren't leaving, and perhaps they're not feeling like they've got that sense of their house being a haven, which is what you really want ideally. So this lets you know that things are going to improve. It also can sometimes mean neighbourhood disputes or any sort of unsettling energy in the neighbourhood is going to be resolved. And it asks you to do what you can to work on that. So if your home's not feeling like a home, what can you do to ease the energy? Maybe it's a rearranging of furniture that needs to happen and some new furnishings brought in to breathe some energy and some fresh air into it. And maybe you need to move. If you've been contemplating moving but you just have sort of been teetering on the edge there, not sure if that's right, this confirms that's right for you. So very practical. I'll go back to this card deck, or, yeah, this one. Tuesday the 9th. It's funny that we got a card about home on a day when some of you are more focused on work, but you know, it's one of those foundations, a bit like the anything to do with health. We've had a few cards around that lately. Your health is a foundation, so yeah, of course you want to go out and slay, and you want to, you know, achieve great things in your career and your personal life, and you know, honor your life purpose. But if you don't have that foundation of good health and a home where you feel renewed, you can come back to renew and restore your energy, then those higher levels of what you're trying to achieve just don't have that foundation, and things will be a bit shaky. So it's all relevant. Tuesday, the fairies card. Now, fairies are like a branch of spirituality that I personally am not really that educated on, and to be honest, it doesn't really resonate with me. But there is a lot of literature out there on fairies, a bit like unicorns and things like that. There is a theory that they exist and that they are divine entities. Now, as I say, I don't really know much about that because I don't feel a connection with the fairies, so I've never really looked into it. But some of you watching this, I know you absolutely are on board with fairies and you get what they're all about. For everybody else, whenever I get this card or see this card, the fairies are connected to nature. So for me, it's always a call to reconnect with nature, to go outside more, which I am definitely needing to do. I spend too much time indoors, and which is going to be difficult for those of you on the east coast of the US. I know it's extremely cold there right now, and I really feel for you. You know, are there ways you can bring more nature in with, you know, I was going to say getting more pot plants, but if you can't leave the house, I guess that's not going to work so well. But maybe you can just plan outings for when the weather changes. But it's a connection with nature. It's also the wider picture stuff about the environment. Now, as you know, our planet is in a very bad state right now, and it needs a lot of people to stand up for it. That's part of what the fairies, when they come through and a reading where people are wanting to know what their life purpose is, it's often a call for them to work with environmental causes as an advocate, to support an environmental charity, or to do more in their own lives in terms of recycling and sustainability, you know, living a more eco-friendly life. So whatever, if any of those speak to you and you've already been thinking about those, this is backing that up. So Wednesday, I've got these totally out of order. I'm going to get really confused and draw 8 cards, I bet. We'll make it an 8-day week. We'll see how this goes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, intention. So the word intention, which FYI happens to be Oprah's favourite word, it's a word that comes up whenever we talk about manifesting or the law of attraction, because it's all about where your mindset is what you need to focus on if you want to yield responses. So again, that connection between what we think and focus on and what we actually create in our lives. And this is asking you to set very clear intentions, which a lot of you would have been doing around the New Year mark anyway. This is asking you to get really clear on that, because sometimes when we don't get what we want, it's because we haven't actually been very clear about that. So prime example was in dating, when you end up dating someone who's completely not what you want, and which is okay, because sometimes the person that's right for us is not actually what we had envisaged. But if you get someone who, and you're in a healthy sort of unhealthy kind of dynamic there, it's because you haven't been clear on what you're looking for. So this is asking you to, you know, be very clear on what you want and how you intend to get there, because remember, everything you create is also about your actions. So if your actions don't align with your intentions, you're going to be self-sabotaging. So things like, again, if we go with dating, I want a healthy relationship, but then you go out and date someone who's completely not in a healthy state in their life. That's not going to bring you into alignment with what you want. So yeah, there's a lot I could say about this intention. It's a big topic, but do some more reading if you want to find out more about how to make that kind of manifestation process happen for you. But this is really asking you to be clear on what you want. A lot of people love vision boards. I did one of these. I'm not a very visual person, so it didn't really work for me, but a lot of people swear by it. So basically cutting out pictures and getting photos, hitting up Pinterest to get pictures of that life that you want to create and illustrate it, and you keep looking at it. It's a very visual kind of thing that looms in your mind because you keep seeing it, and that helps you get back into that mindset of focusing on that. Wednesday, so we'll look at Thursday now. So great goal setting kind of energy coming through there. And of course, a big part of intentions is being able to believe that you absolutely can have that thing that you are yearning for. Maybe it's a relationship. That was a nice segue, wasn't it? So relationship. This card comes through for people who've been going through a rough time in their romantic life, whether it's because it's a long spell of being single, or whether it's because their relationship has hit some hurdles, which of course is normal in the course of a long-term relationship. So this is asking you to believe that you are heading out of the woods, to use a Taylor Swift quote, and into the light. So it's another light at the end of the tunnel card, and there are a lot of those, and I love them because the whole point of being in communication with the divine is to find hope, and without hope life is very bleak. So those messages are always very dear to my heart. And this is asking you to believe in a good outcome for your relationships. Now, if you are in a relationship already and things are not going well, remember that even though this is saying that things will turn around for you, the onus is still on you to do your part in that. So owning your share of what's gone wrong, or not gone wrong, that's not the right word, but what's happened. So being accountable for your actions, and remembering that the energy you bring to the situation is impacting on the other person. So it's never just one person's fault, and I use the word fault loosely. The other thing is, for this, the card is really strongly about the relationship you have with yourself, which again is how you create a healthy relationship. If you are someone who treats yourself unkindly, your chances of being able to attract someone who treats you kindly are not good, because vibrationally the energy is not matching up. And the rule of energy is that like attracts like a magnet. So the more you can do to heal your relationship with yourself, you're treating yourself kindly, you are standing up for yourself, you are not settling, you are treating yourself as you deserve to be treated, and really believing that you do deserve to be treated well, the better your ability to attract people of that caliber. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can read that, but ultimately see it as a hopeful, optimistic message. Friday, the 12th. Chaos and conflict. Now those sound like very negative elements, but on Friday, yes. See, already I've lost track. But actually, the thing about chaos or conflict is it's necessary for our growth. And there's a saying that sometimes things need to break down in order for you to break through. So if you are going through chaos right now, things have fallen apart, please know that this is necessary. It's painful, it's not very nice. I wish there were a better way for this to happen. There isn't. Things need to break down so they can be rebuilt better. So see this as, in the long term, a positive thing, even though it's very painful, and you're perfectly entitled to feel uncomfortable and unhappy about that. But please try to hold on to that hope of knowing that something better is going to come out of this. Equally with conflict, I think if we're talking about conflict in interpersonal relationships, sometimes that conflict is happening because we are out of alignment, or we're bringing forward an energy that's causing instability or disarray. So try to, again, own your side of the street there in terms of how are you contributing to this conflict? Is there some imbalance within you, some lack of peace that you are bringing forth into relationships, and it's causing other people, because your energy impacts on other people, it's causing putting their backs up and causing them to bite at you or be defensive or something like that. So look to if it's a conflict situation for you, rather than chaos, which chaos, I'm thinking of things like you've been made redundant, or something like that has happened that's thrown a spanner in the works of what you were working towards. Try to see that as a positive thing. But in terms of conflict, if it's conflict between you and a person, look to how you're contributing to that and what you can do to heal that within yourself, which will have a positive impact on that relationship. And always look to conflict to see, what is this telling me about myself? We often think of our teachers as being the people who've had a positive impact on us, but Cheryl Strayed says that one of her greatest teachers was her father, even though he was not a good father to her, and she actually has cut him out of her life. And that's because he taught her some negative elements that she needed to learn in terms of how to trust her instincts, in terms of who to trust other people, and how to take responsibility for her life and that sort of thing. So I don't want to put words in her mouth by saying what she learned from that, but I know that she's incredibly compassionate, strong, and often self-assured, although I'm sure, like everybody, she has her moments of insecurity. But she's such a strong person, and although her mother was a huge influence on her, her father was in negative ways that taught her how to be stronger, because sometimes the people who treat us badly are what inspire us to stand up for ourselves, to treat ourselves with self-respect, and to know what we don't want to be ourselves, or what we don't want to accept. So yeah, Saturday. Oh, purification, the detox card. The reason I sound a bit like, is because I really hate the word detox. I do, because it invokes these images of horrible juice cleansers and lemon juice diets, and I also hate the word diet. Horrible word. And that's because I don't believe in complete elimination, unless it's really necessary. Now, I spoke last week about how I quit coffee. It's because coffee didn't agree with me, but so that is an example where elimination has been helpful for me. But in a lot of cases, this deprivation idea, really, really not good. So anyway, in terms of detox, this may well be in your diet. Is there something you're eating that your body doesn't like? Now, I don't care what your friend tried that worked for them and made them have more energy, or whatever it is. Everybody is different, so it's really up to you to trust your intuition on this. What is it, if it's in your diet, what is it that you need to shift away from or change your relationship with? Perhaps you need to get a better relationship with vegetables, for example. Or what is it that you need to clear out? Negative thoughts, that's a big one that comes through with this. Negative habits. I am getting a strong leaning at this is health related, so anything like smoking or excess alcohol or anything like that, no judgment, but anything like that. It could be, and I did say excess there, not completely. So anything that is doing you damage, not just to your health, but in terms of your emotional well-being and your energy levels as well. Because as I said earlier, health is a really important foundation. So what else in your mind might need detoxing? It could also be the burden that you are getting in your life from trying to please too many people and failing, because you can't please everybody. The burden of not saying no to people, the burden of taking on board other people's problems or their drama, all those sorts of things. So really look for ways that you can clear out things that aren't working for you. And you will know what those are. Okay, we are on Sunday. Nailed it. Sunday the 14th January. Ooh. A children card. I think we had this last Sunday. We did. So different card deck, which I always think is so interesting if something's repeated in a different card deck, and that's part of the reason I use different ones for each day, unlike many readers who use the same deck for a whole week. I do that because the trends are so much more pronounced. So here about children. Now, there is a sad element to this, which I will say briefly. It's only going to relate to some of you, but people who have had children who've passed on. I know this is a really difficult thing to hear, and it's a pain that doesn't go away, but the card is saying they are being looked after. You know, no soul is ever lost. So please know that that soul is still around you, and that you can still talk to that person, and that your children aren't lost, I guess is the best way to put it, because what I'm trying to say is that they are under divine care and protection. So the other thing about this children message is, I talked about this last week, but we are all children of the universe, and we all need to trust that we are being looked after by the universe and being provided for. And we also need to honour the childhood spirit within us that we think no longer applies because we're too busy trying to pay bills and you know, get stuff done. But making more time for fun, and this is a great time to do it because you're setting up habits for the entire year. So taking up a new hobby or something that's really fun, that really doesn't not serve you, but it doesn't give you a product, or it doesn't give you something that you need in your life. It's not like, you know, cooking a meal. Not there's anything wrong with cooking, but something really fun for no purpose other than the enjoyment of it. It could be music, learning an instrument or something like that. And the other thing about childhood is the people who are trying to conceive. This is letting you know that you can have children, and even though it's obviously not an easy thing, this is giving you encouragement to keep believing in that. That message has been coming up a lot actually. There's obviously someone watching this who keeps needing that, and I get that there's so much discouragement around that because it is something that just doesn't happen as instantly as what we were taught to believe. But yeah, maybe it's a case of needing to keep coming back into that kind of energy of hope. And that's going to be the best way to help you, because if you believe that something's not going to happen for you, that's the surest way to make sure it doesn't. So we've got, looking at the week messages about home, nature, intentions, the goal setting, relationships, things falling apart, purification, children. We've run the whole gamut here. It's just such a mixed bag here. I can't really see any particular theme. I guess there's a lot of practical stuff in terms of getting outside, getting our home base sorted, and detoxing, I guess, or getting rid of stuff that's not working. I guess that's probably what comes through most. So I put these on my social media. Thank you for watching and for the feedback that you give. I read it all and I really value it. My Instagram, if you're not already following me, is at OneGroundedAngel, and my Facebook page is also called One Grounded Angel. If you wish to reach me, you can do that. The best way is via my blog. I really don't check my direct messages on Instagram because I get too many offensive messages. So please, if you want to contact me, go to www.onegroundedangel.com and go to the booking form. Thank you so much, and I'll read for you again next week.